Hi family. I'd like to address sunlight coverage on the Earth and how 24-hour sunlight in Antarctica occurs due to the crystalline firmament above the circular level plane Earth we live on. For the last 3 years, I've researched and studied sun and moon navigation and navigation data from the United States Naval Observatory. What we are seeing on the circular level plane Earth is sunlight coverage data from the United States Naval Observatory for December 20th, 2024, with 24-hour sunlight occurring from minus 66.56 degrees latitude to minus 90 degrees latitude. This is very important. The equator perfectly mirrors sunlight coverage on the same latitude locations north and south of the equator. The United States Naval Observatory navigational data of the sun always shows the sunlight coverage to be perfectly mirrored along the equator when the sun is located on the same latitude distance north and south of the equator. The mirroring is caused by the crystalline firmament. Next, we'll look at sunlight coverage data from the United States Naval Observatory for this year's spring equinox, which was March 20th. Sunlight coverage during the spring equinox is 50% of the Earth, with all locations experiencing 12 hours of sunlight. On the globe Earth, we see the same sunlight coverage of 50%, with all locations experiencing 12 hours of sunlight. This table provides the sun's azimuth and altitude angles at plus 30 degrees latitude and minus 30 degrees latitude on longitude line plus 105. These two locations are the exact same distance north and south of the equator. The altitude angles for both locations are almost the same. The navigational data of the sun at plus 30 degrees latitude is shown on the circular level plane Earth, showing 12 hours of sunlight. The navigational data of the sun at minus 30 degrees latitude is shown on the circular level plane Earth, showing 12 hours of sunlight. When combined, we observe the navigational data is perfectly mirrored along the equator line. This mirroring is caused by the crystalline firmament, which projects an apparent sun viewed at minus 30 degrees latitude, while the sun is actually rotating clockwise on the equator. Here we see the sun's trajectory at plus 30 degrees latitude and minus 30 degrees latitude are exactly the same. However, since plus 30 degrees latitude is north of the sun travels east to west from left to right, whereas since minus 30 degrees latitude is south of the sun travels east to west from right to left. These tables are from a previous presentation showing the sunlight coverage is perfectly mirrored along the equator when the sun is located at plus 23.44 degrees latitude and at minus 23.44 degrees latitude. Sunlight coverage is when the sun is at plus 23.44 degrees latitude as shown. 24-hour sunlight occurs from plus 66.56 degrees latitude to plus 90 degrees latitude. Based on perfect mirroring occurring due to the crystalline firmament, we should expect 24-hour sunlight to occur at latitudes minus 66.56 degrees to minus 90 degrees when the sun is at minus 23.44 degrees latitude. On the globe Earth, we see the same sunlight coverage with 24-hour sunlight occurring at plus 66.56 degrees latitude to plus 90 degrees latitude. Sunlight coverage is when the sun is at minus 23.44 degrees latitude. As expected, 24-hour sunlight occurs from minus 66.56 degrees latitude to minus 90 degrees latitude. Perfect mirroring is occurring due to the crystalline firmament. 24-hour sunlight is occurring at minus 66.56 degrees latitude to minus 90 degrees latitude. The navigational data of sunlight coverage in Antarctica during its summer months shows 24-hour sunlight. Therefore, the Gleason's map graphic and description of sunlight coverage during the December solstice is not correct. The Gleason's map does not recognize the perfect mirroring of sunlight at the equator caused by the crystalline firmament. On the globe Earth, we see the same sunlight coverage with 24-hour sunlight occurring at minus 66.56 degrees latitude to minus 90 degrees latitude. The left side of the table provides the sun's azimuth and altitude angles at plus 80 degrees latitude, 0 degrees longitude on June 20th, summer solstice, when the sun is located at plus 23.4 degrees latitude. At plus 80 degrees latitude, the location experiences 24-hour sunlight, with the sun's altitude angle being between 13.5 and 33.5 degrees. The right side of the table provides the sun's azimuth and altitude angles at minus 80 degrees latitude, 0 degrees longitude on December 21st, winter solstice, when the sun is located at minus 23.4 degrees latitude. At minus 80 degrees latitude, the location experiences 24-hour sunlight, with the sun's altitude angle being between 13.5 and 33.5 degrees. Again, the navigational data with the sun at plus 23.4 degrees latitude and at minus 23.4 degrees latitude is perfectly mirrored. The azimuth and altitude angle sun data at plus 80 degrees latitude, 0 degrees longitude is shown on the circular level plane Earth, June 20th, 2024, summer solstice. Sun is at plus 23.4 degrees latitude. At plus 80 degrees latitude, the location experiences 24-hour sunlight, with the sun's altitude angle being between 13.5 and 33.5 degrees. We see the sun's trajectory at plus 80 degrees latitude. Since plus 80 degrees latitude is north of the sun travels east to west from left to right. Now we will look at the navigational data for December 21st, 2024, winter solstice. The azimuth and altitude angle sun data at minus 80 degrees latitude, 0 degrees longitude is shown on the circular level plane Earth. December 21st, 2024, winter solstice, sun is at minus 23.4 degrees latitude. At minus 80 degrees latitude, the location experiences 24-hour sunlight, with the sun's altitude angle being between 13.5 and 33.5 degrees. We see the sun's trajectory at minus 80 degrees latitude. Since minus 80 degrees latitude is south of the sun travels east to west from right to left. When we combine the June 20th summer solstice navigational data with the December 20th winter solstice navigational data, they are perfectly mirrored along the equator line. On June 20th summer solstice, the sun is circling clockwise at plus 23.4 degrees latitude, and since plus 80 degrees latitude is north of the sun, the actual sun is being viewed. On December 21st, winter solstice, the sun is circling clockwise at minus 23.4 degrees latitude, and since minus 80 degrees latitude is south of the sun, the crystalline firmament projects an apparent sun which circles counterclockwise. We see the sun's trajectory on June 20th summer solstice at plus 80 degrees latitude, and on December 21st winter solstice at minus 80 degrees latitude are exactly the same. However, since plus 80 degrees latitude is north of the sun travels east to west from left to right, whereas since minus 80 degrees latitude is south of the sun travels east to west from right to left. On December 21st, 2024, winter solstice, the sun is at minus 23.4 degrees latitude. This table shows the azimuth and altitude angle data at minus 80 degrees latitude for longitude 0, minus 60, minus 120, minus 180, plus 120, and plus 60. The azimuth and altitude angles are all the same. This tells us the crystalline firmament perfectly mirrors the sun at all longitude locations. The navigational data plotted on the circular level plane Earth confirms the crystalline firmament perfectly mirrors the sun at all longitude locations. Next, we will see a 24-hour progression of the Sun's apparent azimuth and altitude angle movements. Notice the Sun always circles in a clockwise arc, but the mirroring of the crystalline firmament causes the Sun to apparently rotate counterclockwise or anti-arc. Next, the 24-hour progress will be sped up. The December 21st winter solstice navigational data at minus 80 degrees latitude is shown on the globe Earth, which is exactly the same as the circular level plane Earth. The Sun is circling counterclockwise, but is the quote actual Sun due to the heliocentric model, and is caused by the Earth being a sphere, where the equator is causing the quote mirroring unquote, and not the crystalline firmament. The Sun's trajectory is exactly the same as on the circular level plane Earth, with the Sun traveling east to west from right to left. The mirroring of the crystalline firmament is what causes the Sun to provide 24-hour sunlight at minus 66.56 degrees latitude to minus 90 degrees latitude. Through repeatable scientific observation and testing, it is impossible for the surface of water to bend or curve. Therefore, the surface of all oceans are level or sea level, and the Earth is a circular level plane with land masses at various elevations above sea level and ocean depths at various elevations below sea level. The circular level plane Earth is the fixed, non-rotating foundation Yahuwah created for his firmaments and heavens to be supported by. Through repeatable scientific observation and testing, a permanent barrier is required to maintain the Earth's air pressure of 14.7 psi and oxygen level of 20.9% at sea level. If there is no permanent barrier, there is no air to breathe and no life. Since we always experience air pressure of 14.7 psi and oxygen level of 20.9% at sea level, then there is a permanent barrier already in place created by Yahuwah. This permanent barrier is the crystalline firmament Yahuwah brought forth on day 2 of creation. Based on this presentation of the navigational data from the United States Naval Observatory, Yahuwah created his crystalline firmament to provide purposeful, beautiful, and personalized sunlight to every location on Earth. Hallelujah!